All right, party people, we got this upcoming new moon in the sign of Libra at 28 degrees. Venus, the ruler of Libra, is in its own sign currently. The outer planets in a amazing configuration. Neptune and Aries sextile both Pluto and Uranus while they trine one another. This is a powerful energetic pattern right here. What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be discussing the new moon in the sign of Libra. So, let's get into it. The outer planets in a amazing configuration. You want to look at that energy as a portal that is helping reshape our present world, bringing us deeper into the age of Aquarius. On a personal level, it's offering you the ability to shape your future timelines through present actions. Now, that brings us back to the new moon in Libra. New moons are times where we set intentions to invite energy into our lives, and we can align that energy based on the sign in which the new moon is occurring. With Libra, this is about balance. Sometimes balance through relationships, but really with the presence of Scorpio, we want to look at it in the sense of the balance of our psyche or our own psychological inclinations. This new moon is very much so an initiation, asking us to implement wisdom that we have learned in our journey. This can be in regards to relationships or just personal balance. So I'll go back to the journey that I've been on with you guys, showing you things in my own life that I've done to regain balance. One of those, refraining from the internet, social media. I think there's a certain point for all of us in this modern world where we have to understand, okay, my relationship with the internet or social media or technology is one of self-discipline. No one's going to tell me, hey, you're scrolling too much. I have to take what I know based on lived experience and honor that wisdom. There are things in our lives that we need to bring into greater balance. And I think one of the bigger wisdoms for us all, that especially if you're on the spiritual journey, you may have come in through some way, which is fasting. So many people may look at fasting just in the sense of like, oh, this is when I'm not eating certain foods, but you can fast from all types of things. And I think one of the real wisdoms of the modern age with this technology is the understanding of the effects it has on us and how to regain balance from interaction with the technology. And one of those things is fasting, which is a spiritual technology. Now, looking at it from the shadow work lens, everyone should be asking themselves, what do I really need to transmute or change about myself in order to hold the frequency of the new reality I want to be in? This is going to lead you to have to tune into your own nervous system and further analyze your subconscious patterning. We should not be comfortable with being who we've always been to this point. There are many ways in which you can experiment with change in your daily life, from your attitude to how you dress, to even just how you come off to others. Libra, right? These are things with the presence of the Scorpio energy in this particular cycle that it is your best interest to focus on. Saturn is out of Aries right now, but it will be back. And that focus will be back on structuring and embodying that better or newer version of you. So I wanted to pull up the chart here and highlight some things that really jump out to me. So there's a lot going on during this new moon. But what I want to highlight here is Jupiter. Jupiter is technically in a T square with this new moon, as well as Chiron. The square with Chiron here is rather exact, and the square here with the sun and moon a little wide. But what this is showing is the need to honor our relational wisdom that we've gained. This is about further implementing deeper belief into yourself, acknowledging your own programming, shining a light on emotional awareness, and initiating new ways of healing in that realm. And this will involve having to embrace the direction in which you feel intuitively drawn to. And at the same time, going in that direction will lead you away from certain relationships that can be very emotionally tied, i.e., family, long term relationships. But the willingness to confront this energy and hold your belief and reprogram your beliefs is what's going to help put an end to the karmic cycles in that regard. I always say it's not easy, but initiation just wants you to honor the lesson. And this is very much so about relational balance coming through emotional reprogramming, old habits being transmuted. The next important thing here is this Jupiter trine Saturn, which is asking you to put structure behind the new area in which you're going into. And this is also talking about a self-discipline and a self-belief. So going back to Chiron here, you can't expect others to see what you see or believe what you believe immediately. Saturn says the more you honor this with discipline and structure, the more you're going to expand, the more real it's going to become, and then others will see and support. So the last thing I want to say about, this new moon energy in Libra, relationships and all of that, is that there's an honoring of particular psychological aspects of relationships that we got to be real about. And at a one level is really about confronting imbalances. Do you constantly give more to others than you are receiving? You have to be real about that. You're not selfish for wanting to be poured back into as well. So these are all things that if we can confront them, if we can, honor them via wisdom, change will come. Now, let's take a look at the influence regarding individual signs. Okay, so if you are a Aries rising, this is going to be occurring in your seventh house of partnerships. And of course, we know Venus is here as well. Venus in Libra is encouraging you to harmonize back into relationships through self confidence and self projection. In a very simple way, you'll find that you attract others when you are displaying what you have to offer. Expand upon your relationships more. This cycle is going to require Aries projection. Okay, and that Aries projection will anchor in the right kind of individual relationships. For Taurus rising, this is occurring in your sixth house. So this is about getting organized within your space. That can help bring back balance to your life, organized within your routine. I can see for some, this can be the ending of one work cycle and the beginning of another. Also, it can just do with your habits, right? The sixth house represents the structure within our routine. So going back to that Jupiter and Saturn influence, the Taurus risings can really benefit from this. You want to anchor emotionally to some type of new habit. And so the more you can be consistent within your new habits, the more balance you're really going to experience. Then when we get on to Gemini rising, this is going to be going on in your fifth house. And this is really about expressing your creativity at a greater clip. The key thing here is not to overthink, but to really be decisive within your actions, and it is about performing to get your point across. For the Gemini risings, whatever you have been working on, if it's out already or you're feeling like it's ready, this is the time to put it out. But you have to stand behind it in this fifth house way, where you know that, like, if you want attention, you have to do things to garner that attention. So I see a lot of activity this cycle for the Gemini risings, a lot of creative performance. For the Cancer risings, this new moon is occurring within your fourth house. I see a lot of shadow work with this. Now, the first place to get back your balance in this area is going to be with your relationships with family. For those who are parents, it can get very interesting as well too, because you might have to take a look at where you might be over identifying with. So one thing I've noticed this year for some people is that how we come into being imbalanced sometimes is when we get in a groove in one area that, let's say, for a particular layer of time required our attention. We Once we lock into that rhythm, we may get comfortable there and never really disperse back balance into other areas. So I feel like for the Cancer rising, you're really going to want to listen to your emotions this cycle and see where are you dissatisfied doing what you're doing. And then just bringing in the South Node being in Virgo, you can find dissatisfaction in things that are too comfortable, right? Routines that are too comfortable, relationships that are too comfortable. So there's a real need to honor how you're feeling and act upon that. Going back to that Jupiter Chiron square. Leo rising. This is occurring in your third house. So just like Gemini, I see this is going to be a big cycle of expression for you. If you want attention, you want to be noticed, if there is something in which you're trying to be heard or seen, this cycle is about tuning into what attracts others to you. Now, on one level, this may require you coming out of a particular ego that you built, experimenting, with different ways of communicating. There's a solution here to your problem in whatever way that may be. But a lot of this just requires confidence in action. This can be a great cycle for movement, seeing new things, also anchoring a new routine or new habits through learning and exploration. For my Virgo risings, this is going to be occurring in the second house. So this is really about your financial scope. And with Virgo energy, it's all about organization, precision, making a plan, sticking to it, and figuring out how to get more of what you're looking for in that area. So if it is monetary value, it's going to lead back to having to put in work and be realistic about how to generate the type of income you want to. I feel like this will require you to also get out of some type of comfort zone. There can be ways of generating wealth or experience self that are coming to be outdated. And this cycle is just encouraging you to experiment, test new things and possibilities. For the Libra risings, this is occurring in your first house. And this is going to be about being direct in your relationships about how you feel. Libra risings, let's say there are things that you've left undone, words you've left unsaid. This is really about cleaning up that karmic loop. Okay. It is also about embodying self-confidence more, right? But so on one level, you have physical self-confidence, like, oh, I'm dressing up more. Then there's the communication aspect of it, where you should just express yourself a little bit more, which adds to your own magnetism. This is a strong cycle for self-care and self-focus. So be mindful of where you get distracted from that. Scorpio risings, this is of course going on in your 12th house, and this is really overstanding the need to close out particular cycles through the transmutation of relational patterns. We don't always need to say more than we need to in relationships. That's one of the lessons that's going to be here with Scorpio. Everything doesn't require an explanation. Sometimes the actions speak louder than the words. So you don't need to tell someone like, hey, I'm not doing this with you no more. You kind of just need to lead by example type of thing. This talks about getting more into yourself again. All right, your spiritual life, reconnecting with that, and really seeing what desires come to the forefront. So I think Scorpio risings could definitely benefit from a bit of fasting from people and things this cycle. For the Sagittarius risings, this is going on in your 11th house, and it can really be strong for attracting the partnerships and scenarios that you need. In order for this to occur, you'll really want to be tapping into Saturn and Jupiter, right? Creating structure, having belief in what you're doing. And the universe is going to meet you halfway. This can also be a strong cycle for your social life, going out, trying new things in that regard, building new friendships. So remain open, remain jovial, Sagittarius risings. Then we got the Capricorn risings. This, of course, going on in your 10th house. This is about redefining how you show up. And you'll want to look at where the South Node in Virgo is. What feels outdated? Where are you a little bit stuck, right? And why are you stuck? Is it your approach? Do you need to try something new? Right. So in regards to public persona, career aspirations, at a simple level, if you have a job but you're unfulfilled, hey, just fill out some job applications. Right. There's no pressure. There's no expectation, but you're experimenting with that realm of life. You're stimulating it, I should also say. So for the Aquarius risings, this is going on in your 9th house. And this is going to deal with about what you believe, is going to make you confront what you believe and possibly force you to become more open towards new ways of looking at relationships, showing up in them. There is a great wisdom here in regards towards how you show up relationally, right? So for some, it might be that you don't show up enough with your voice. Maybe you have been missing something in the earthy realm in terms of being grounded. The universe is going to let you know. My best advice to you is to not be fixed in your ways or feel like you know it all. Be open to learning and trying something new. Then we got 8th house. 8th house, Pisces. New moon in your 8th house. This is about letting go of fear, simply. Fears around wherever your purpose is. And if something here feels inevitable, you really just want to let that go. So I'm going to give an example. Say you're a Pisces rising and you know that you need to get a divorce, but you just haven't initiated that process because you fear what comes next. This is the 8th house North Node transit too. It's like you can't get away from what is inevitable. So the best thing to do is to let go. Doing too much, like clinging to control in this area or others, is going to lead to self-sabotage. So the more you can surrender to, I guess, your intuition, the more you'll be led back along the correct path. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. As I said before, support the channel, drop some likes, check out my website and my new services I got going on. I look forward to connecting with you guys. Till next time.
The only homie known to get it be the facelift. The loner turned stoner riding solo in a spaceship. Son and boys in the hood, my style furious. The star seed got a heartbeat, that boy serious. Up and travel the globe, they can't bend mine. Feeling like pop, no stop till the end of time. My shorty fine, got a mind that's enterprising. Forever on the grind, y'all know it's Virgo rising. No sympathizing with the slacking. We stay in action like Denzel, it's no acting. It's all attraction, just what I do. Got more heart than John Q. Spilling water under high bridges like I'm Don Q. So don't block my shade or try to fan mine. It's all divine, blowing up like a landmine. In just a few short months, I'm a landmine. All facts, the real is back about damn time. Fuck these niggas talking about. Talk to them.
Ain't no vest testing this hollow. This shit a rip through it, ain't nobody messing with Nalo. I put some shit on it, got a bag on this red dot. This shit a hit target, dead prezzies. Rather live enormous than live dormant. Took a page out of whole book, got a pain in my thumb. Cause I gave them the blueprint and made kingdom come.